Hey team, just wanted to reach out to you. We had our Zoom call today. I wanted to thank Sergeant DeGiovanni for joining the call. Apologize, I had a lot of difficulty with the Zoom platform today. I've got an internet connection issue here at the house, and I got to get that resolved. Hopefully we can get that resolved before our next Zoom meeting. But anyway, thank you, Sergeant DeGiovanni, for joining us on the call. I have some great news for everybody. Went to Tallahassee yesterday for the State Corrections Day. Well, it just happened to be the State Corrections Day at the Capitol. I was there meeting with Representative Mooney and his legislative aide, Lee Young. Also met with Kate Deloach, the lobbyist with the Southern Group. And we had a great conversation regarding House Bill 239, which contains several benefits for the special risk class, and correctional officers are a member of the special risk class. That bill deals with a variety of different retirement benefits, and it includes the drop extension, and it is doing very well in the House right now. In addition to that, I also met with 3 senators yesterday. Had the opportunity to meet with Senator Bradley, which was really a gift from God, because she's the chair of the Criminal Justice Appropriations Committee, and it's an extremely busy time at the Senate and at the House, and she was able to meet with me with no previous meeting set on the spot, and she was very receptive to correctional officers receiving the recognition payments, and that's extremely positive news. So right now I feel we're about 70%. We've got about a 70% chance that we're going to be getting recognition payments in 2023. The House bill, appropriations bill, which is HB 5001, did include correctional officers in it to receive the first responder recognition bonus. So that's a huge win. So way to go, everybody on the team and everybody that's been involved in this. Really appreciate all of your efforts. The Senate Bill 2500, which is their version of the appropriations bill, however, did not include correctional officers in the first responder recognition program bonuses. So, but the good news is that we still are alive because we were included in the House bill. So we want to give Representative Mooney, as well as everybody on the appropriations team in the House, thanks for that. I especially want to thank Representative Mooney because he's been working with us on this, obviously, directly the longest, and he's been meeting with us and supporting us. And I know he's been doing a lot for us behind the scenes. So thank you very much to Representative Mooney for that, as well as his legislative aide, which is Lee Young. She is truly our champion, and we give her great thanks. In addition to that, we've got a lot of bills that are moving through both the House and the Senate. Senator Rodriguez's bill, Senate 1034, it has to do with the drop extension for correctional officers specifically. It passed another committee yesterday, 7-0, so now it is in the Appropriations Committee. So if we don't get the drop extension with HB 239, we should be getting it with Senate Bill 1034. So that is very positive news. And in addition to that, just wanted to go over some information with you. As you probably all know, we did officially incorporate the nonprofit portion of our organization, which is the Florida Correctional Officers Association. On February 23rd, we received our articles of incorporation approved by the state, and we have also registered with the federal government, and we are going to begin applying for grants as soon as we are able to secure our nonprofit status. So that's the next step, is ensuring that, and that is a process. We need to secure our employer identification number and then apply for the nonprofit status. So that's going to set us back a little bit as far as our timeline is concerned, is with regards to applying for grants, but it's something that has to be done, and it would also enable us to begin our fundraising initiatives. So we'll be able to do that, and then once we get that into place, we will need to secure an accountant for the organization. And right now we're looking at Oropesa here in town, but if anybody else has any other recommendations or suggestions, definitely open to that. And so as far as the bylaws are concerned, while the articles of incorporations define the basic structure of the nonprofit, the bylaws are used to define this structure, and the bylaws contain any provisions not inconsistent with state law or the articles relating to the business of the nonprofit, the conduct of its affairs, and the rights and powers of the directors, officers, and employees. So a typical set of bylaws will perform the following roles in organizing the nonprofit, unless such topics have already been addressed in the articles. So basically what we're looking at is we need to fix the number of directors, and whether they will be separated into classes or not. I think we've pretty much done that already with regards to our individual titles. We need to specify the quorum, which is the number of directors that we need to have present, other voting requirements for the directors' meetings. We need to allow for the directors to delegate power to a committee of directors. We need to specify whether the directors can take action by written consent without a meeting. So instead of having a meeting, which is, I know, very difficult for all of us because we all have different schedules, what we can do is put something in writing, and if we all sign it in favor of it, then we can pass it that way. That may be something we want to take a look at. Also, we need to look at denying the directors the ability to establish their own compensation. That's just part of the way these organizations work. We want to appoint the officers, describe their duties, specify whether an individual may hold multiple officer positions, and prescribe the method of appointing officers and filing vacancies. And then we also want to figure out a way that we can indemnify the directors against personal liability. So we need to look into securing legal representation with regards to that. And then this is not relevant to us, but it is something on the list, restricting the transfer of stock to outside parties who don't have stock, because we're a nonprofit organization. And then we also want to designate a time, date, and location of an annual meeting for the board of directors. And we can look forward to having a conversation regarding that in the future. So that's basically what we need to do with regards to the bylaws. So I'm going to look at the written option to see what we can do on that as we move forward. And then also I wanted to just go over our organizational purpose with you so that you have a better understanding of where we are with that. I think that's an important aspect of our organization. And I had that up here a second ago. Let's see where it went. Where was that? Okay, so anyway, we're going to move on from there. We'll come back to that in a second. I also wanted to discuss that we are super excited to have Miss Amberly Prihodko on our team. Ms. Prihodko is the individual that was included in HB3 last year for the Resiliency Behind the Badge program. She is an expert when it comes to officer wellness and has an extensive background in corrections. We will be working with her to develop a program that is specific for correctional officers, and we're excited about that. As you know, that's an exciting thing as we're moving forward here. And then to discuss Sergeant Diaz, who is our VP of Defensive Tactics. He is going to be attending the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy here, and we're excited about that because the Gracie family has been having tremendous success when it comes to working with law enforcement in how to handle defensive tactics encounters. And I sent some information on that to you regarding that, but you really want to take a look at those videos because it's quite striking and amazing what a little bit of knowledge when it comes to jiu-jitsu can can do as far as helping in use of force situations. So we're also excited. I spoke to Deputy Carreras yesterday, or actually maybe 2 days ago. He has expressed an interest in becoming an instructor with his agency, our agency, for the individuals on this call, and also being an instructor on call and being our go-to person for jiu-jitsu related questions for the Florida Correctional Officers Association. So we're super excited to have him come aboard, and we've also spoken with Deputy Hoverson regarding the potential of her coming on board as in support of other training efforts, as well as Deputy Analysts when it comes to physical fitness. So these are all exciting things that we are looking forward to as we continue to expand and grow. And our organizational purpose is to educate the general public, and specifically correctional officers and detention deputies, regarding all matters pertaining to the profession of corrections, including holistic wellness, defensive tactics, training, and continuing education. In addition, I just wanted to point out that Deputy Williams is our VP of Offensive Tactics, and offensive tactics is a direction that the profession of corrections is moving in, and it pertains to proactive actions that a correctional officer or sheriff's detention deputy can take to protect the well-being and life of inmates that are in our care, that we have responsibility for the care, custody, and control of. And proactive measures would include areas such as substance abuse, consulting, as well as mental health care, verbal judo, anything that's proactive that we can do to recognize when an individual needs help and take action before we have an issue with that individual. Obviously, defensive tactics is reactive in nature and is absolutely critical for ensuring the safety and well-being of our fellow officers as well as the inmate population. But proactive tactics is something that proactive offensive tactics is something that we're excited about further developing as we move forward. And Deputy Williams will also be responsible for the Lifesaver Award program that we will be implementing. And I believe the first recipient of that program is going to be Ramoni Williams Jr., who saved Deputy Williams' life last year. I'm sure you're all very interested in hearing about that, and we will be discussing that further as we move forward. So that's pretty much all I have for right now. I'm also excited to tell you guys that we are looking at trying to secure grants to get more involved in opioid antagonistic training, which has to do with obviously fighting against the opioid crisis that we have, and preparing our fellow correctional officers and sheriff's detention deputies to do what they can in the jails and prisons in order to protect one another as well as the inmate population from possible opioid exposure, and also working with the medical teams to do what's necessary to provide the necessary treatments for those that are suffering from opioid addiction so that they can recover and rehabilitate and hopefully go on to lead better lives that are drug-free. So that's where we're at right now. I know that it is difficult for all of us to meet together, but I want to pray for each and every one of you. I do all the time, and I want to give you guys all great thanks and appreciation for all that you do every day. Love you guys. Hope you're doing well, and keep doing what you're doing. We are moving in the right direction. I've got a follow-up meeting with Captain Crane and Major Age on Monday to discuss where we are at with everything, and I'm excited to say that we're moving in the right direction. So God bless all of you. Thank you for all that you do, and I will talk to you soon. All right, thank you. Take care.